Hello, everyone. When I wake up in the morning, this is what I see. I see in front of me this beautiful gob of debris that is hanging from a dental x ray mount, which has upside down tripods attached to it and all sorts of debris, some lamps, a ukulele, all sorts of bric-a-brac. So when I wake up in the morning, this is what I see. And if you saw this, you might have nightmares for weeks. But what's interesting is among the many things that are interesting is the way the light hits it. Sometimes I have lights on it that are turned on. Sometimes it's the light from other parts of the room that hit it. And it's just a fascinating thing to draw. So I usually start by using a black background, and then I draw with lighter colors on top of it. Now in this case, I'm going to turn on a different light. So I think I'll draw this in black and white. But what's sort of neat about it is, it's kind of like I imagine. I find it very relaxing. Some people have a rosary around their neck and they repeat whatever rosary people repeat, and it gives them comfort. I don't know if it's the words that they say that give them comfort. I imagine many of them believe what they are saying, but I think part of it might be just the fact that it's kind of a repetitive thing, and it's sort of self-medicating, self-soothing, and you don't have to think. I mean, clearly, you don't have to think, and you just repeat, and then you repeat it again, and then when you're done with that, then you do it another time. So that's sort of what this is like to me. I just have fun trying to make sense of this chaos in front of me, and I don't really need to make sense of it. I'm trying to draw the chaos in front of me. But I'm not drawing it in a way where I feel I have to be realistic, because even if I was 100% realistic in my drawing, there'd be a lot of people that would say, "What the hell is that?" They might say, "That kind of looks like a ukulele way back in the thing, but I have no idea. What is this that you're drawing?" And so picking something like this, it could be a pile of dirty laundry. It could be the recycle bin of your building. Just open it up and look in, and hopefully people recycled only clean garbage, clean trash, rather than messy garbage, so you won't be grossed out. But what's neat about the drawing accidental things is you don't have to make them pretty. You don't have to worry about making them exact, because no one will know if you screwed up, for one, and then if you do screw up, well, then you can fix it if you want. Am I done with this one? No, I don't think I'm done. But I could be done. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick a different section of this same thing and sort of draw it on a new layer right on top of this. And then I'm going to maybe see if I can animate what I'm doing. Drawing this one faster just because now I've got a different kind of a plan in mind. And I often find that when I am drawing 6 or 7 things at the same place, the first one is really, really sloppy. Then I get in my stride, and then I get sloppy again. It's like the first time I draw it, I'm learning about what I'm looking at and getting my head wrapped around it. And then I say, okay, now I understand what I'm doing. So now I'll start a new one, and then I do the new one, and then I do a third one, and then I start getting bored again. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I keep seeing a new way to render, or I see something I didn't notice before. And I don't know how many times I've drawn this debris gob, but probably 100 times at least. And I'm always seeing a new way to depict it. Sometimes I don't, as I was saying, I don't always think about what I'm doing. Sometimes I'll draw this just because it's, I don't have to think about it. But even when you don't think, you're actually thinking. There's some element that you discover, and then you put into action, and then you... So let's see what this looks like when I... Do I like that? Who knows? Let's try something else. Let's pick a different area here. Draw with black. This is what I was drawing earlier today. This view. I don't know. It's fun. We're having a show coming up in the next gallery show in my building. It's called Darkness and Light, and I may include some of the drawings I do of my house, because my house is quite dark, and it does have there is light that I do allow in my house, but it's quite often very subtle lighting. I'll have, rather than one big light bulb, I'll have 16 little ones that were supposed to be for your refrigerator appliance light bulbs or something. And so you end up just getting little tiny sources that sometimes you don't even see. And you just have this really sparkly little environment to enjoy. A friend of mine, a pen collector friend of mine, was visiting me for the first time, and he was coming from California, and I met him on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or something. I don't know, remember what. And he was coming to Boston for the Boston Pen Show, and he was going to stay with me. And I thought, well, I better clean the house and get it all nice and beautiful for him. And he came in, and one of the first things he said was, "Can you turn on more lights?" And my 3/4 roommate laughed, and he said, "This is a festival. This is a carnival. We've got all the lights on that we ever have." So he didn't seem to understand my aesthetic, but I understand it. Okay, we're gonna look up now at my I call this a Flustercuck. It was originally called a clusterfuck, but one woman on YouTube said, "My daughter and I were looking at your thing, and you used the word." No, my daughter found your video on YouTube, and I was shocked that it says clusterfuck. You should make sure that you don't use such words, because of my daughter. Well, your daughter had to type in clusterfuck to find it, lady. I didn't. I wasn't typing search. "I'm going to search for clusterfuck," she says to herself and her girlfriends. Well, so anyway, I call this thing a Flustercuck now because of this woman. So if you search for Flustercuck, you'll find me. I don't know where I'm going. What was I going to say? Okay, I'm looking up at the ceiling now. That's what I'm doing. On my Flustercuck, I have two disco balls. This is one of them. When I turn on my fan, they swirl around and they make little sparkly patterns on my walls. Okay, so there's that. I've got a couple of fezzes here. Got a big gob of rope. I got some sort of metal vegetable strainer there, and some worry beads. And here is the light that's sort of behind all of that. The background, there's some books. I think I've got this. My perspective is all off here, but that's okay. Again, I could completely have the proportions wrong on this thing, but you would never know that. You know, when I draw a building and I have the windows drawn badly on a symmetrical house, there's windows on one side and the same number of windows on the other side, and if you don't get them right, it'll look dumb or wrong or something. But here, there's really no rhyme or reason to what you see, so consequently, it looks fine. Or not. the other disco ball. Anyway, it's fun just to make marks. Mark making, that's what I'm doing. There was a particular art thing. I don't know if it was a school of art or just a trend. It was a trend. That's what it was. It was a trend. Mark making. Oh, I was mark making. Oh, is that what you were doing? It's like, okay, people that don't know how to draw realistically, they go into mark making. What do you think, people? People. It's my other end of the... So on this Flustercuck that I have, in addition to disco balls and ukuleles and vegetable strainers, I have a lot of silver beads, chains of silver beads, and transparent pieces of fabric that will just add a little bit of texture to the thing. Lots of charging cables and extension cords illuminate various lighting that's also on this thing. Am I done? So I did that one. I did that one. I did that one. So I can see now going back that I clearly went from very vague to more detailed as I moved forward. Which sometimes is fun. So did I waste the last 28 minutes or however long this has been? I don't know, maybe. Bye. How do I turn this thing off, though?